Hello. So, we will be discussing functional behavior assessments and functional analysis. My name is Megan Garrettson. I have been an RBT for about 4 years now. Um, I've worked in all settings. I started out in a clinic, then went to in-home, back to a clinic, and now I work in a therapeutic preschool and also go into a private school with one of my clients in second grade. When I become a BCBA, I hope to work in a school, an elementary school, I think would be my top choice. But I also really enjoy working at a clinic as well. My experience with FBAs has really just been observing my BCBAs in the direct observation, sitting in on parent interviews, and also conducting parent interviews and typing up questionnaires for them for indirect assessment. So before we start, what is problem behavior? Because the reason we do FBAs is to assess problem behavior and figure out how we can decrease those problem behaviors. So a problem behavior is defined as any behavior that can be strengthened by either getting more or getting out of something. And that is from Cooper 2019. So the functions of behavior is important to discuss before we get into this because that is the root of everything. So I learned the functions of behavior as SEAT: sensory stimulation, escape, attention, and tangibles, access to tangibles. So getting into why behaviors exist, what are they going after, leads into why we should do functional behavior assessments. So an FBA is designed to obtain info about how the function of the behavior serves a person. Why do an FBA? So the purpose is to gather information about the problem behavior being functionally related to the environment in which it occurs and how it is maintained by either providing access to the reinforcement or allowing the individual to avoid the aversive situation. So what does an FBA look like? What does that include? So just from my experience as an RBT, the little tidbits that I've been involved with, the indirect observation, indirect parts would be the parent interviews, the questionnaires. And the direct observation is direct analysis, directly observing the client in their natural environment. And functional analysis, directly manipulating antecedents or consequences. So functional analysis, also known as FA, is a component of an FBA. So when do we want to conduct an FBA? If the problem behavior is directly affecting my client's quality of life or their surrounding peers' quality of life. Or when you need to develop behavior intervention plans for students who present problem behavior in the classroom, and FBAs are usually done in a school setting. Okay, so let's break it down. The first part of a FBA would be to identify the problem behaviors, identify the function of the behavior, and what those behaviors look like. Then you want to collect your baseline data from multiple sources. You want your ABC data from your RBTs, your direct observation from your BCBA, teamwork, collaboration, collecting that baseline data. Then you want to develop your hypothesis. and then we intervene and plan by testing the hypothesis. Then we want to monitor if the intervention is effective and what we need to change to help our client be successful. So that is an FBA. What is a functional analysis? A functional analysis is a component of an FBA, systematically manipulating environmental events thought to maintain problem behavior within an experimental design, from Cooper 2019. Functional analysis involves the direct experimental manipulation of variables under controlled trial conditions, essentially to empirically identify functional relationships, but less feasible within typical educational settings. So in the school setting, they're less likely to do FAs because an FA requires someone who is highly skilled and trained directly in conducting an FA, where most teachers, most schools, they do not have employees that have been directly trained on an FA. So I currently work at a multidisciplinary clinic that is set up like a therapeutic preschool called Chicago Pediatric Therapy and Wellness Center. And we usually conduct FBAs over FAs. My part in that as an RBT and also a supervision student under my BCBA, I'm planning and scheduling meeting times with caregivers, parents, RBTs on the team, their BCBA, or even their teacher, for instance, for my school client in school at his private school. That is one of the core components of getting this FBA rolling, getting the whole team together to collaborate and be on the same page. So at my clinic, the BCBAs conduct direct observations. I have sat in on the direct observations, taking ABC data to review after the assessment. And our data collection method at my clinic is we use Catalyst to put in our ABC data, and eventually when this client has programs, to record all of their data, behaviors, tantrums, duration. Catalyst has it all. So yes, like I said, RBTs can observe these direct observations, sit in on parent interviews, create the questionnaires, etc. Teamwork, collaboration is key when conducting a successful FBA. In my experience, I've only worked with FBAs, so what I want to learn more about is FAs. And my question for my peers would be, how does your company go about scheduling FBAs and FAs? Because getting everybody together is one of the most difficult parts. Working with everyone's schedule. When is mom available? When can your teacher call in and be part of this Zoom call interview? When are all your RBTs available? Etc. So how does everyone's specific clinic go about that in the easiest, most effective way? And has anyone in the class assisted with an FA? And what did that look like? Because I never have, but I'm sure other companies out there really focus more on FAs if they were in a more school setting, strictly. So what does that look like for you? And then my works cited, I used Cooper 2019 from the third edition of Applied Behavioral Analysis, Pearson. And I had 2 articles that I took information from by Lewis and Mitchell called A Comparison of Functional Behavioral Assessment and Functional Analysis Methodology Among Students with Mild Disabilities and Behavioral Disorders. And my last article was The Use of a Functional Behavior Assessment Based Self-Management Intervention for Students with emotional behavior disorders from the Journal of American Academy of Special Education Professionals. I will attach my PowerPoint, which lays out the FBA and functional analysis review that I created. Thank you. Have a good day.